Friction is a force that opposes the motion of objects when they come into contact with each other. It occurs at the surface where two materials meet, and it acts in the opposite direction of the object's movement. Friction arises because no surface is perfectly smooth, even if it appears so. On a microscopic level, surfaces have tiny imperfections that interlock or resist motion. Friction can be classified into different types: static friction, which prevents objects from moving, kinetic friction, which opposes the motion of moving objects, and rolling friction, which involves objects that roll over a surface. Several factors influence the motion of sliding or rolling objects. The first factor is the texture of the surfaces in contact. Rough surfaces generate more friction while smoother ones produce less. For instance, ice creates minimal friction, which is why skating is possible, while sandpaper has high friction, making it difficult for objects to slide across. The second factor is the force pressing the surfaces together. A heavier object exerts more pressure on the surface, increasing friction. Additionally, the type of motion, sliding or rolling, affects friction. Rolling objects like wheels experience less resistance than sliding objects due to the smaller contact area between the surfaces. Finally, lubrication, or the presence of substances like oil, grease, or water, can reduce friction by creating a smoother interaction between surfaces. In daily life, friction is essential and affects the motion of objects around us in various ways. It helps us walk, drive, and even hold objects securely. For example, friction between car tires and the road provides the necessary grip for safe driving. If friction were reduced, as on a wet or icy road, vehicles might skid or lose control. Friction is also crucial in sports, such as soccer or basketball, where players rely on the grip of their shoes to make quick movements. However, friction isn't always beneficial. It can cause wear and tear on mechanical parts, or make it harder to move heavy loads. Engineers often design tools and machinery to optimize friction, reducing it when it's a hindrance and increasing it when it's helpful. To demonstrate how friction affects moving objects, consider a simple experiment involving a toy car and different surfaces. Place the car on a smooth surface, such as a table, and give it a push. Observe how far it travels before coming to a stop. Then repeat the experiment on a carpeted floor. You'll notice that the car moves a shorter distance on the carpet because the increased friction slows it down more quickly. For a rolling object like a ball, compare its motion on a flat concrete floor versus a grassy field. The ball will roll farther on the smooth concrete due to lower rolling friction, while the grass's rough texture increases resistance, slowing it down. By adding a lubricant such as oil on the concrete, you can further reduce friction and observe how the motion changes. In conclusion, friction is a fundamental force that shapes the way objects move in our world. It acts as both a helper and a hindrance depending on the context. By understanding how friction works and the factors that influence it, we can better navigate and control the movement of objects in our daily lives, from driving safely to designing more efficient machines. This essential force, though often overlooked, is critical to nearly every aspect of motion and interaction in our environment.